They danced every dance together. They talked about everything in the world except who Cinderella was and how she came to be there. Let him mistake her for a princess, she thought. Otherwise he might wipe his hands on his jacket and turn away. She saw her stepsisters perched like plump cushions on the girl chairs, sulking. She saw her stepmother scowling and cramming sweetmeats into her angry mouth, but they did not recognize her, did not discuss, see through her magic till midnight. Fina- Finery. Midnight. Oh, the clock started to strike. 1, 2. What time is it? Cinderella gasped. 11 o'clock. 12, said the prince, but we have the whole night ahead of us. 3, 4, let me go. Why? Whatever's the matter? 5, 6, I have to go. I must. Cinderella broke away from him and started up the marble stairs. 7, 8, her legs were weary from dancing. The stairs seemed like a cliff. The prince called out behind her, "Wait, you dropped," but she could not wait. 9, 10, the cold night air broke over her like a sea wave, unplaiting her hair. The 6 white horse were whoops, tossing their head and pawing the ground, rocking the glass coach. 11. As she sped away into the black of night. 12. The clock burst apart around her like a snowball, hitting a wall, and she went somersaulting over and over into a ditch. A pumpkin rolled in on top of her, reaching to gather up her lovely skirts. She found no organza dress, no petticoats of gold. Though on her left foot she still wore a single glass slipper, as if midnight had taken pity and spared her one shred of her happy, perfect evening. By the time the three stepsisters and their mother arrived home at dawn, Cinderella was asleep in her usual place among the embers of the kitchen fire. Lazy, good for nothing girl, shrilled Rigatona. Get up and make me some breakfast. I've been dancing with the prince all night. Here's poor Cinderella in the ditch. Liar, sneered Lingina. Didn't dance with him once. None of us did. We didn't stand a chance when he had seen that princess woman. Quiet, snapped their mother. She ran away, didn't she? The game's not lost yet. How can he marry a girl who isn't there? But next morning, the streets were noisy again with excitement. There were proclamations nailed to every tree announcing that Prince Boniface had already decided on a wife. He would marry the girl with whom he had danced at the ball, and he would marry no other. Apparently, the lady had left behind on the step of the palace a single glass slipper, and the prince had vowed to find the owner of the slipper. It would be carried from house to house, and every woman in the kingdom must try it on. thought he would seek her out, hunt her down, the mysterious girl too shy to give him her name. Raviola, Giot, and Lingine broke into howls of mystery and rage, and beat on the breakfast table with their fists and foreheads. It's not fair, Mummy. It's not fair. Be quiet, you fools, snapped their mother, her face set in grim determination. Cinderella, fetch 6 buckets of ice from the ice house. Be quick if the prince wants a foot to fit his precious glass slipper, then that's what he shall have. We'll show him 8 of the most delicate feet in Christendom. All morning they sat, stepmother and stepsisters, with their feet in buckets of ice. Thought the girl whimpered and grizzled and complained, "So cold, Mummy," and turned quite blue. Their mother only glared and told Cinderella to fetch more ice. The cold would make their feet smaller, she said. 3 size smaller. Wow, I didn't know that. At last there was a knock at the door. The footman in the scarlet jacket stood once again on the step. This time he carried a crimson cushion and on it the single glass slipper. Pushing the buckets out of sight under the table, the four hobbled to the door. Come in, said Raviola, dragging him into the hall. Ah, you've brought back my slipper. So kind, said Rigeton. It's not yours, it's mine. Let me try it on first, shrieked Lingina. While they squabbled, their mother calmly took hold of the glass slipper and tried to squeeze her own ice-cold foot into it. But, try as she might, try as Raviola and Rigotta and Lingina might, all four had feet like shire horses. The cold had shrunk them, but not enough, not nearly enough to fit the tiny magical glass slipper. "Are you all the ladies in the house?" asked the flunky. "Yes, yes, get out of here," spat stepmother in a frenzy of disappointment. "May I?" said Cinderella, peeping round the kitchen door. "No, certainly not. Get back to your work, impudent ragamuffin," said stepmother. My orders are," said the funky, glimpsing a pretty face at last, "that every lady in the land." "She's not lady, she's the scullery maid," cried stepmother, and laughed shrilly at the absurd idea of Cinderella trying on the slipper. She never even went to the ball. "I know, I looked the door on her myself." "Even so," said Cinderella, "I should like to try on the shoe." And so she did. It fitted perfectly. Absurd, ridiculous. She obviously wants to trick the prince into marrying her, bade stepmother. She's had her feet in ice water to shrink them. But when Cinderella pulled from her apron pocket the matching glass slipper, its heel as fine as the stem of a wingles. The flunky blushed as red as his jacket and dropped to one knee. "Begging your pardon, miss, but did you mean to break the princess's heart, running off like that?" Princess heart. Oh, here is the slipper. Almost done. If I had stayed, he would have found out who I was, what I was. I mean, said Cinderella, looking down at her rage. Begging your pardon, miss, but he knew that already. He knew you were the love of his life. And what else matters? Cinderella laughed shyly and kissed the flunkey on his bald, shiny head. If the prince's heart is broken, tell him I will gladly mend it for him, she said. Yeah, and so he did. Cinderella and Prince Boniface were married within the week, and the wedding party went on for 3 days. 3 days of dancing and feasting, 3 days of music and fireworks. Even Raviola and Ricotta and Lingina enjoyed themselves. Only their mother stayed at home, behind locked doors, and foamed like an old black cauldron as she stared into the embers of the kitchen fire. As for Cinderella, she lived happily ever after, just as her father had always meant her to do when, at her birth, he named her not Cinderella but Joy. Oh, I love the ending. Here the mices. Thank you very much for coming and see you next time. Bye.